Well, good morning and good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are joining, and from wherever you are joining. It is great to be with you in community and meditation. It is day 26 of the Feast for the Soul. So we are past the midway point and up to well, we'll have 40 days total. So hopefully you have been able to join us for each and every day of the feast so far. But even if you haven't, it's wonderful that you're here today. That's the most important thing. And I work with a small group of people, typically on Mondays, leading meditation. So, if ever you are interested in joining us for Swell Heart Mondays, simply reach out. You can do that. I will put my contact information in the chat and we can go ahead and connect. Um, as I was thinking today about what I wanted to share and the type of meditation that I wanted to do, I was reminded of a moment this past week where it seemed like very little was working, no matter how hard I tried. And I'm sure you haven't had a day like this at all. But anyway, as I am someone who tends to really like a good to-do list and checking things off of that to-do list, I found myself falling into this familiar pattern of just wanting to get things done and really pushing to get them done, trying to force my will, if you will, on what I wanted to happen, and really resisting the circumstances that were unfolding in front of me. And at the end of the day, getting very irritated by all of it, taking all of the fun out of everything that I was doing, and I ended up spiraling. My mood spiraled. Yeah, I was just feeling really crummy. And at that point, I remember taking a mindful moment to come into center, to decompress, and to essentially try to recalibrate my mood, my center, my emotions. And I had this little nugget pop into my head, something that I had read when I was in my teacher training for meditation. It came from a book about the brain. And what it said was that focusing more intensely on a problem when you're stuck not only reduces any sort of creative insight that you might have come in, but it actually stops your ability to come up with a solution. And so the suggestion to find a solution is to step away, to change your scenery. And it made sense, of course, at the time that I read it, but in all of my aggravation, I forgot this. So it made sense essentially when I've thought about times in the past where I've been at these moments of being stuck, stepping away, going for a drive, going for a walk, um, allows something to shift and allows that stuck energy to begin to move again. So I took that as a cue to drop everything and go to the beach with my dog. It's a not too far of a drive from our house, and it turns out that the change of scenery was exactly what I needed. Because what I discovered when I was at the beach, and it doesn't have to be the beach necessarily, but in my case it was, that the energetics, of course, of having an animal with me helped lift my mood. But I was also captured by the waves and how the waves were rolling in. And I was noticing the ease of the waves and the ease of the breaking of the waves. And I just longed for that feeling and started tapping into what the ocean was doing and how dissimilar it was to how I was approaching what was going on in my daily life. The ocean didn't get frustrated that a wave was breaking when it's not supposed to break. It didn't cling to a wave when the wave was simply moving through or get irritated in some way and try to prevent something happening from because it thought it should be doing something else. And I just thought about this natural rhythm that the ocean engages in and that the waves simply roll in and they emerge in their own time. And of course, the same is true of other parts of nature. A tree doesn't force its branches to grow, and the cloud doesn't get irritated and bristle when or the sky doesn't bristle when there are clouds in it. And I think that's part of the reason why it's so soothing to be in nature when we feel stressed or frustrated or out of whack, because it is what it already is. And there are no apologies, there's no forcing, there's no resistance. So that's what led me to today's practice. The practice that we're going to do today, it has its roots in a classic Buddhist and mindfulness tradition in those teachings, and it's called the three letting bees. And it's one of my favorite meditations. We practice in this meditation the same allowing and acceptance as nature by exploring what it feels like to let be or let things be, letting the body be and letting the breath be, letting the mind be. And instead of trying to control or fix, we give ourselves permission to rest in the simple, natural presence of being, to allow whatever arises without judgment. So, before we begin our meditation today, I like to share a few essentials. The first one is that thoughts are okay. Thoughts will come in as you meditate, and that is completely natural. The mind thinks just like the eyes see. And so, when you notice that you are caught up in a thought, you simply gently and without judgment bring your attention back to the present moment. Um, the second one is not to try too hard to have a certain experience unfold for you today. You simply allow the meditation to be what it is, and you allow yourself to be with whatever experience is unfolding right in front of you right now. The third is to let go of expectations, treating every meditation like it's the very first one that you've ever had, and welcoming everything that shows up without resistance. The fourth essential is to be kind to yourself like a good friend would. There is no right or wrong. There are no shoulds with meditation. It simply is allowing to be whatever is here for you. And the final essential is to stick with the practice even if it feels hard, even if it feels great, and your mind keeps wandering one direction or the other, the practice is to return over and over again to the present moment. And the more that you do this, the stronger your ability is to train your attention. We'll be meditating for about 20 minutes, and I will keep track of the time. So let's go ahead and begin. Invite you, if you haven't already, to find a comfortable seat and a seat that allows you to be not only relaxed, but alert, alert to whatever unfolds for you today. You might shrug your shoulders or adjust your neck left to right, perhaps wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rest your hands at your lap or at your sides, and gently turning your gaze downward, or if it feels comfortable to you, you can close your eyes. Giving yourself a moment to arrive, to let whatever came before this and whatever's to come simply rest, move through. This is your business right here, right now. You might set an intention today for your practice. Perhaps it's to still the mind, to be present with whatever unfolds in your practice. Perhaps it's to practice non-resistance, noticing whatever is true for you today. We'll begin by taking some slow and deep breaths in through the nose, all the way into the belly, and back out through the nose. Inhaling again through the nose into the belly, and this time holding for just a moment, and then releasing the breath back through the nose. Let's take a few of these breaths. Then coming into our own natural rhythm. And one more deep breath in through the nose, into the belly, holding for a moment, and then releasing through the nose. Letting any tension or stress melt away. Allowing your breath to settle into its own natural rhythm. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and no one to be. Allowing this to be your business right now. Now, gently letting your awareness settle into the feeling of the body. Letting the body be. Noticing the weight of the body resting right here. You might notice the points of contact between you and the surface beneath you. Noticing any places of tension in the body, places of holding or clenching. Refraining from any judgment in any way. Noticing any tendency to fix. Simply paying more attention moment to moment and allowing everything to soften in its own way with each exhale. Allowing each bit of softening to help you relax, letting the body know itself. Allowing the body to accept and let be, as though the body is meditating you. It's nothing to change, nothing to control. If the mind wanders as it typically does, let the sensations of the body draw you back. Hands resting on your lap or at your sides. Feet grounded beneath you. Releasing any tension that might arise. Turning your attention now to the flow of the breath in and out of the body. Feeling the belly expand on the inhale and gently release on the exhale. Perhaps imagining like a balloon slowly losing its air. Being aware of any tendency that you might have to control or shape the breath in any way. Allowing the breath to know itself as if the breath is meditating you. Breathing in, breathing out. letting the breath unfold in its own natural rhythm. If you notice that the mind drifts at any point, return your attention to the breath over and over again. The inflow of the breath, the outflow of the breath. Steady, dependable. Letting the body be, letting the breath be. Turn your attention now to the quality of the awareness of the mind. Noticing any activity and allowing it to fall away completely. Letting the mind open. Noticing any tension or any busyness. Inviting it to relax and letting go of any resistance, any thought loops. Letting the mind be. You might notice any thoughts that appear on the screen of your awareness, any images, perhaps any memories. Letting all of this unwind exactly as it wants to. giving the mind permission to unwind and rest. No effort needed. Spacious, without any burden. Letting awareness itself do the knowing. Letting it meditate you. Allowing any tension in the body to relax and unwind. Any holding of the breath to unwind. Any tension in the mind to unwind. These are the three letting bees. Letting the body be. Letting the breath be. Letting the mind be. We'll rest in this space of natural acceptance and awareness for a few minutes. The mind open, the breath and body settled and relaxed. And I'll track the time. Notice the body resting here. The rhythm of the breath the open quality of the mind. I'd like to close our practice today with a quote from Jack Kornfield. He says, "To let go does not mean to get rid of. To let go means to let be. When we let be with compassion, things come and go on their own." Gradually bringing some gentle movement back into the body. Perhaps a wiggle of the toes or the fingers. You might deepen the breath. Bringing your awareness back into the space around you. Perhaps bringing some larger movements back into the body. Stretching your arms or moving your head and neck. And when you're ready, you're welcome to blink your eyes open. Perhaps noticing one thing in your environment that you might not have noticed before. I want to thank you so much for meditating with me today. If you're so inclined to bring your hands together, thumb knuckles at your breastbone, and bow your head for just a moment, giving thanks to yourself for engaging in your practice today and making time, for allowing yourself to let be. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. We'll see you next time.